And we're back! Oh shit, I should have planned what I was gonna do. Off the top of my head, we'll do this. I guess I don't really need to do it when there's less than one. Let's see here. Oh, I should have got rid of those soul remains. I was talking about that the last video.
I'm keeping a close watch on you.
Getting rid of stuff you don't need or use. Your needs will change depending on what you're doing and what your goals are and what level you're playing, of course. Adapt, improvise, overcome, as they say. I think that might be a Marines logo or slogan, or I know I've read that somewhere before. I'm pretty sure it's the Marines. So I should have thought about what my next step was in the game. I think what we're going to do is go for the Crisp Blade. The Crisp Blade is a sword that you will hold that will boost your magic power. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's worth having. It's well worth having. I mean, that and there's different things that boost different. This silver coronet that I'm wearing boosts your mana. You can't see it on my character because I got the headgear turned off. Because once I get the headgear I want, which is that weird looking upside down cone shape head wrap. I don't even know what it's called, bro. It's the monk's headgear. I don't remember what monk it is, but anyways, I'm talking about a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. Did I activate the other one already? Huh. I'm surprised I didn't get the Crisp Blade when I was here before. I must not have had it because I got several characters going and it's hard to remember what is. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. It's hard to remember what I did on which character without planning ahead and actually not improvising, which unfortunately is what I'm doing now. Because again, I don't think hardly anybody, if anybody, is watching the videos I'm making. I'm mainly just going through the motions. I mean, I play the game anyway, so I just figured when I looked at the new Share Factory Studio, I think is the full title, I decided I would. Oh, dude almost set me alight, huh? I just thought I would try it out, you know what I mean? Give it a go, so to speak. Now there's a little skip you can perform here if you use the, I think it's called a Water Veil. Is that what it's called? The spell that, I'm pretty sure it's Water Veil. And you put on the flame resistant ring and you run and roll across this lava. And you can actually survive that. Now you may be able to do it, you know, if you pumped enough points into vitality, you could probably get across there without dying too, but I rarely do that skip. I didn't plan ahead, so I didn't put soul arrow back on. If I throw flame toss at these guys, they're going to enjoy it. It's going to be like me rubbing their belly or something. You know, it's going to give them a warm, fuzzy feeling because it'll literally do nothing to them. And it, you know, it makes sense in a RPG or any game. So my question to myself now is, do I go back and get the water veil and do the skip real quick to get the crisp blade and show you the skip? I guess I can. Never done it before. There's another skip you can do. Again, some people may call it a glitch. I don't necessarily call it that. I mean, you're basically using the game mechanics. You're getting outside of the level and dropping to your death and spawning back in where the game thinks you were when you died, and it puts you behind the boss in this level. And I guess that's the closest thing I would call a, you could call it a glitch. It doesn't hurt my feelings no matter what you call it. Again, play the game how you feel like playing the game. If you want to grind through the game every time you play the game, do it. If you want to skip part of the level or an entire level, go for it. Do it. Whatever you want to do. To get outside the level, because they tried to patch it, right? Blue Point, when they made the remake, they knew about the glitch where you could get outside the level over here. They tried to put an invisible wall up there that would block you. Unfortunately, they didn't make that wall big enough. And I don't think they're going back and doing any patches. If you have the disc version of the game with let me see if I can burn this dude to toast with it before he even gets a chance to throw fire. Oh, he got me. He got me. No, he didn't kill me. Luckily. Usually his fireball, I don't know if it's flame toss like I have. His looks a little different. His shoots a little straighter. But I have to assume it's the same spell I have. But anyways, it seems to do more damage to me normally. Oh, you know why? Because if you got the Ring of Magical Sharpness on, which again is another one of those items, like the Crisp Blade, is it called the Crisp Blade or Crisp Sword? But anyways, KRIS, that sword in your right hand, in the Ring of Magical Sharpness on your finger, and you do a ton of more damage, magical damage, but that ring lowers your magical defense, so you take more damage from magic when you have that ring on. Yeah, when you have that ring on, you take a ton of damage, man, from magic, and he can practically one-shot you, especially if you're playing like what I'm doing. I'm a glass cannon, right? I'm putting 0 points into vitality. 0. The only points I'm spending is intelligence to get the amount of magic slots I want, 2 or 3, depending on what point I am in the game, and then magic. Those are the only 2 attributes that I raise if I'm playing a mage. So if you're a glass cannon, man, you're really squishy, and a lot of player characters, if you're on PvP, they're gonna one-shot you. I mean, yeah, if you let them get near you and they hit you with some of these synergies that they got going, with the different builds, they're gonna just destroy you. You're gonna be crying and shit if you're worried about dying. That's one of the things about this game, is dying is part of the game. If you come into any Souls game worrying about dying, and dying is offensive to you, if dying triggers you, if you hate dying, you're not going to play these games very long, or you're not going to enjoy them to their full potential, because, well, that was weird. I was trying to do a spin and take them both on the spin, but he went into the backstab animation. But I think I might have said this once earlier, a couple videos back, but when I bought the game originally in 2009, it had a media release version of the game. Everybody and their brother was saying it was just hardcore, ultra hard game. So I think that deterred a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people. I would say more than 50% of the people that looked at the game probably said the same for me, man. If not much more higher than that. There was a guy, again, I think I said this before, he worked for EB, Electronics Boutique. He was either an employee or a manager, I do not remember which, but he was in the GameStop. And he was returning his copy. And I could have bought his copy or another used copy, but I never really liked that whole model that GameStop has. I don't know if they still have it, because most things are digital now. But back then, you would basically sell them your brand new game that you just bought 3 days prior that you dislike. They would give you, you know, depending on what they felt like. I think generally, unless it was a game that was in real short supply, they're only going to give you like $20 or $30 for that $60 game you just bought back then. And then they're going to turn around 5 minutes after you walk out the store. That's going to be on the shelf for $5 off. So, I mean, you got some money out of the game you bought that you didn't like. Hey, more power to you if you're into that kind of thing. You know, I never wanted to support that model though, so I would rather spend the extra $5 and get a brand new version of the game. Oh shit, I didn't think I was gonna be able to hit him, but sometimes things happen. Like that. Yeah, so that dude walked out the store. I don't remember his name. He was pretty young guy, man. I want to say he was like mid-20s or something. And I walked in and he's complaining about the game, dying, and it's too hard, and he didn't like it. And I just chuckled as I walked past, went over and I picked up a new one. And then after he left, I was talking to Giovanni there, and I told him, I said, hey dude, the reason I just came in today to get this game is because they kept saying it was too hard, it was so hard, blah blah blah. So I wanted to be 100% sure I was going to be able to enjoy the game, and I think I'm going to have to do this. Yeah, sometimes you just got to do it, man, you just got to. And I missed that. I executed too soon. But my point of it was that he didn't understand the game mechanics, because the game mechanics to these games is not what you're used to, unless you have history with these games from FromSoft. You know, you're only expecting to die occasionally. You know, of course, this is all relative to what genre of game we're talking about, because, you know, back in the days of the arcade, you were dying all the time, man, playing games. You were playing, you know, side scrollers, and oh geez, I forgot my magic's not regenning because I got the wrong ring on. Talking too much. But I tried to tell the guy briefly before he left the store, because he basically got his money back, whatever they gave him for the game, and I went and got one off the shelf, and the guy behind the counter was joking with me about I didn't want to buy a used one because I might, it might be too hard for me, and I basically was joking with him and telling the guy that was getting ready to leave, that from what I understand, you have to learn from your mistakes in this game. So when you die, learn, oh Jesus, like that, learn that you can't shoot too close to the wall with this. If you're throwing soul arrow or soul ray, it seems to give you a little more leeway as far as hitting things. You don't have to be out as far, but flame toss is a bigger spell, I guess, so it connects with the wall much easier. Of course, I'm playing with the angle there and taking advantage of the situation. I always forget about that back step he does when you do multiple light attacks. He can do like a back step slash. I haven't seen that kid though. When I say kid, I just mean he was younger than me. Because at the time, I must have been about 45 without getting out the calculator and figuring it out. Or doing some simple math on a piece of paper. I was in the neighborhood of 45 or 46 years old. So when I say kid, because he was only, I think, in his mid-20s. Again, he was an employee of what used to be Electronics Boutique, which became EB Games. Alright, bro, rub your belly, throw a spell, let me hit you. There you go. Oh, man, I can't believe you reached out and touched me with that. Alright. Now you done made me angry. I should just use some, I'm going to show you real quick what I was talking about in the last video. Alright. So you see I got the Regenerator Ring, which sometimes I call the Adjudicator Ring, but it's not. It's there by the Adjudicator Skip, which is the flip over the wall, and I got the Adjudicator Shield on. Both of those items regenerate your health. As you see, my mana is increasing, even though I don't have the Fragrant Ring on. What's doing that? The Crescent Falchion +1 that is in my right hand that I'm dual wielding right now. So, again, if you put that Crescent Falchion and the Fragrant Ring on, you just doubled your mana regen. So both of these little tricks will save you grass and other things. I was going to say Estus, but it didn't become Estus until the second or third game. I think it's called Age Spice in this game, where you drink that Age Spice and it rejuvenates your mana. And then of course it's different type of grasses to regenerate your health. This is a place down there at the beginning of this level is where everybody goes to have their duels, their PvP duels. So if you're in human form here and somebody invades, that's the first place they're going to expect you to be. That's where they're going to come in majority of the time. Now I think you can come in other places depending on where the host is at, when you invade somebody. But basically if you're up here, and they come in and you have the thief's ring or the grave robber's ring on. The grave robber is what I would use if you're trying to avoid a phantom, a black phantom, because if I'm not mistaken, it gives you a little better distance. And what I mean by that is if you have either one of those rings on, you are invisible until you get into a certain range of that black phantom. So like if you don't want somebody to invade and you just happen to be in human form by mistake and you see them come in and they're coming over here and you got this elevator on, this is a place where you can gank them, or in what I like to call prank them, you know, because they're looking for you. They're trying to score something off you, a kill. You don't actually get items like the Souls games, because this is the first one. I think a lot of the Souls games were much better, including Bloodborne, because depending on which faction you were a member of and how you were invading and where you were invading, you know, you got different items, you got different drops when you killed somebody. If you invaded or if you killed an invader, you know, it just depends on which faction you were a member of and what item you had on. Usually a ring. You would generate certain items by doing PvP, or, you know, assisting people as a blue phantom. The purple phantom, I don't remember what they were called, but those games are just like a sweet onion, man. They are layered with different stuff, you know, and it's just some of the best games. I mean, I can understand people not liking these games for one reason or another, and, you know, everybody's got their opinion. That's all good. But in my opinion, the Souls franchise is the best. It's got kind of like its own little genre, to tell you the truth, man, because, I mean, there's been different games, and I'm not going to throw any names out, you know, that have tried to emulate or copy what we have with the Souls franchise, and none of them get even close, in my opinion. I mean, there's some good games. In fact, one of them just came out, about 6 or 8 months ago, Mortal Shell. But it doesn't try to emulate. It basically builds on its own, and it's a cool game on its own. I've never finished it, by the way, but, you know, I didn't necessarily try either. I probably should. I wonder what it'll look like on this PS5. Because I'm really interested if anybody, I probably should just Google it, if any game looks better than Demon Souls Remake in 4K. Because right now I gotta seriously doubt that. Oh yeah, he came out and tried to take me on, and I had to put him in his place. But these other guys are here. There we go. That dude's got a range with that pick, man. It's unrealistic, his range. You'd be like, oh, he can't hit me from there, and whap, he hits you, man. It's like, hold on, man. He didn't have that kind of reach. It's not a pole arm. But this guy here is really good at it. If he don't hit the wall, you will take damage from that thing if you're too close. Happens to me too many times. Alright. I'm having a little moral dilemma, because I'm trying to decide whether to show you the drop, the glitch, whatever you want to call it, the exploit, the cheating, where you get outside this level, because that's where you want to go, right down there. You want to go down there, get to a certain point in the wall, you want to exit the game, reload the game, move to another point in the wall, you want to go forward, fall through, and then be prepared to exit the game as soon as you die, which is something that you couldn't do very easily in the previous version, you had to exit before you died, because dying in the 2009 version of the game would close out the menu. In other words, you wouldn't have enough time to exit the game before it's saved. But as you can see, that's my message right there. See that message floating in there? That's my message. There's a wall there, right? That blue point said, oh, you guys think you're gonna use this glitch and get outside the game? Because I think people used to do it right here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So you just run here and roll off, and bam, you'd be outside the game. And then you could drop down behind the boss and take her on with zero risk at dying, basically. So they put this invisible wall right there to block that roll. Well, guess what? You don't need to do that anymore. All you have to do is land on that wall and not go over the top like I did that time. So you basically want to roll at the foot of that little corner, and then you'll end up standing on top of an invisible wall, and you walk towards the out, drop down, and do the little trick that basically will skip this whole level for you. You can get your crisp blade, you can kill the boss at your leisure. I mean, you can sit there and go make a sandwich if you want, man. Go pour yourself a whiskey, man. Get yourself a beer. Go out back and spark one up. You know, whatever. Right there. Nobody's giving me any love? Oh, man. That's it shows you nobody's playing this game anymore. Because somebody should have given me some love on that message by now. This kind of makes me sad, bro. Oh, dude, I was messing around, and now look what happened. Oh, I thought maybe I could... All you need to do is land right there, on top of this little wall right here. See how close I was? Once you drop on there, you're good. And again, this isn't a tutorial or anything. I'm just rambling on, man. It's Saturday night. I'm on my second whiskey. I've had a beer. Had a little something out back, and just making a video, I guess. Don't judge me, man. See how easy that is? You just start the roll at the base, and you run over here, and now you're outside the wall, outside the wire. Oh my God, I can't believe I dropped down there. See, now I'm in the wrong place. I messed up. Now, I could possibly still make this happen because the way the game loads, I still may be able to walk through that rock, but that's not the way I've ever done it. And I don't want to waste a lot of time either. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. See, this, now you just learned a valuable lesson. Don't mess up once you get outside of bounds. Stay on the rock. Don't drop down here in the ash or whatever this is. Kind of looks like ash, huh? My guess is I can't. Oh, that's one thing I should warn you about. Don't ever do this with a lot of souls on you. And I think I've mentioned it before. I really don't care about the amount of souls. I've died and not been gotten back to my souls before. Well over 1 million souls lost multiple times. And it's really no big deal to me, man. Because I don't level my character the way other people do, you know, where they're just trying to get higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. I get to a certain point and I'm like, that's all I want to get. Because, you know, I have a certain objective in mind. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Grandpa almost pulled it out. Okay. He's up there. But he can't get over that little hump. Let's see what happens here, man. We're just messing around. Oh, shit. Look at that. Look at that. Oh shit, man. I wish I could remember for sure, but I'm just gonna do it, man. Let's see what happens. I mean, what's gonna happen? I lose 8,772 souls. Boo-hoo. Alright, we're still recording. We got plenty of time. Let's give it a shot. Alright, so when the game's loading, the hitboxes are not totally in the game yet. So, I can walk through this rock now. Oh shit, and of course I did not go where I wanted to go because I did not want to drop into this hole here. Oh shit, who is that, I wonder? It's a fat official, or what do they call it? Is he a corrupt official? I don't want to be right here though. I wanted to be on this rock, but when I went through too much to the right. I'm trying to think where I am. I know I need to regenerate some health. I know that. So we're going to use the shield in the ring, and maybe, just maybe, I can still pull this off, but generally I like to be up at a specific spot on this stone right here above my head. Now this still may work. I don't know what we need to get out right now because my guy seems to be sinking. Hopefully you're at home laughing at this, but alright, let's see what happens, man. We're gonna find out here real quick like. No, see, this hitbox loads instantly. Oh, there you go. So that's how not to do that little skip. Oh shit, I did it, man. That's not even where I thought I needed to be, man, to do that skip. That's just kind of insane. So, as you see, the game, when I died, the game thought I was in this portion of the level because I was touching the geometry right up there. If I'm not mistaken, it's right up in that corner somewhere where I was at when I fell to my death. I actually might have fell in here from the look of it. When I hit the ground, I think I actually fell over here and died. Even though it wasn't a very far fall, the game handles deaths by falling differently depending on where you fall and whether or not you have is it the cat ring? Generally it's one of the cat rings. But anyways, now that you see how easy it is to bypass that whole level, you can defeat this boss without worrying about anything. You can get your crisp blade, especially if you're just doing this build to PvP or something like that. And I wouldn't recommend doing any of these things on your first playthrough, or maybe not even your second playthrough. But again, I don't judge people who want to do things. Now, if she throws her, I think it's like a oil or something that turns flammable. Let's see what fire damage does to her. What kind of damage? See, this blade here is doing better damage than my magic ability at this point. I think if you're going to use magic on her, you want to go with, see this thing, whatever she's doing here? See how it sets me on fire even though I'm like 30 yards away from it? Come on, bro. None of that's connect. Alright, there we go. I don't think her tail will actually do any damage to you. But you can tell my Crescent Falchion +1 dual wielding is doing more damage than the magic ability, which is Flame Toss, because I didn't put my Soul Arrow back on, and I don't have Soul Ray yet. Soul Ray is obtained via... I don't think it's her soul. I was trying to see if there's an image of who she was before she became a demon. And I do apologize if I have corrupted your vision of the game or negatively influenced you in any way by watching this video. I do not intend to corrupt anybody. I'm trying to be sarcastic and it's not working too well. Hopefully you got a good sense of sarcasm, because that's basically what most of what comes out of my mouth when I'm trying to be humorous, at least, is cynical and sarcastic. Alright, so we're gonna go back. Oh man, do we go back in human form, or I think we should go to the Nexus, kill ourselves, and then come back in soul form, so that way we don't go towards a dark tendency. Every time you kill a boss, you move towards a lighter tendency or a white tendency. If you're full black, then of course it's going to take... Oh boy. Again, there's different... I'm trying to remember all the rules. If you want to check out the rules on world tendency, there are some really good videos out there by so many different people that will explain it 10 times better than what I can. So if that's what you're interested in the tendency of the worlds, go watch a video or two. But every time you kill a boss, you move one, at least one, towards white tendency. On that world, because each archstone, and again, this thing I'm standing in front of here is an archstone. The stone that I just warped back to this Nexus is called an archstone. So they kind of overuse certain terminology, but once you know what it's for, you really don't care what the term is. But see, each archstone has so many worlds. So each boss that I kill, right? So I just killed her. That opened up the second. If I kill that boss, which is Flame Lurker, that'll be another move towards white tendency. Now that's on the world. So by your third or fourth, depending on how many evil acts you've done, you will be full white tendency for that world or that archstone. Your character also has a tendency. So as you can see, again, I wish they would have done better with the symbolism on what degree of white tendency I am. I think it would have been best to use the locations on a clock, but this is full white tendency with this character. If not full white, it's one less than it, but it's in the old. If you think it's hard to tell now, the 2009 version of the game, it was nobody even knew anything about world tendency, man. Let alone once they knew the world tendency, trying to read your world tendency, because the graphics and the lighting in the game was, I guess you could say it was horrible, because we didn't have any torches. A lot of games where it's dark and darkness is a mechanic that builds immersion and suspense and all that, and there's pitfalls, and you usually give the character a torch, right? I mean, he's got a light on his belt. That little thing, that little gem he wears on his belt, it lights up a little bit. If he would have been able to hold a torch in his offhand, it would have, of course, changed combat quite a bit. But now I'm trying to remember what the hell that is on his belt that's lighting up. I know it's something here that he's wearing. And for the life of me right now, I just can't remember what it is. I know it's something you get, though, when you come into the game. Well, let me get rid of some stuff while I'm trying to pull some brain cells together here.
Hello again.
You know what I'm talking about, though. It's that little gemstone hanging on his belt. You know, it's in a little wire wrap there. That provides minimal amount of light. In the old days, man, and when I mean the old days, I mean 10 years ago, the game on the PS3 was so horribly lit that it was not uncommon to fall into a cavern or something and be irritated because you couldn't see nothing, man. It was just too dark. There it is right there, isn't it? No, that's a talisman. It sure looks like it, but that's a metal talisman, the talisman of God. If you look at the small thumbnail versus the large image on the right. Where the heck? That's it. That's it. I knew I had it somewhere here in my inventory. That's what's lighting up on his belt. So I'm wondering if I put that, so you can't move it, because they basically force you to keep that on you, because if you didn't have that on you, it would be darker. And again, this version of the game, it's not such a big deal, but previous version of the game, it was huge. Huge, I tell you. So again, anything that says demon, do not consume that soul, because you will need it if you plan on getting some of the best spells and the best weapons in the game. And again, that's relative to what your playstyle is and how you plan to proceed through the game. With me, as you see what I have now, that is what I will be using. The crescent falchion, of course I'm going to level that so it won't be +1 for long. I guess I could use this soul. Oh, I did exactly what I didn't want to do, which was stick that in there.
You have a heart of gold.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, brother. I hear you. Oh, that's right. I should be crying, shouldn't I? I lost my 8,227 souls when I fell through the floor and skipped behind the boss. And then I dropped up above. Some of you might be joining late and wondering, why in the hell did I jump off the cliff up here and die? Why did I kill myself, basically? Anybody who's watching all these videos, I apologize, but I don't think there's many of you, so you're probably not going to be irritated, or if you are, you're in the extreme minority, because there's only a few people watching these, if anybody. When you kill yourself here in the Nexus, it does not affect your world tendency or your character tendency. If you die anywhere else on any map, on any archstone, while in human form, you will go one notch towards the dark side, towards dark tendency. And a dark world tendency will open up certain paths, literally. Certain characters will appear differently. When you kill them, you'll get different things. There's just, again, this game is an onion. It's layered. And when it first came out, nobody knew nothing, man. It took a long time for people to figure out. That's, in my opinion, one of the most beneficial traits or game mechanics, however you want to call it, to the FromSoft games, is the way they design the game to where the player has to think his way through everything and with trial and error figure stuff out I don't think I need to buy anything. I need to kill this dude. And if you don't want to hear the spoiler, you might want to stick your fingers in your ear or turn down the volume or whatever for about 10 seconds. This punk will kill Saint Urbane, if I'm not mistaken, if you do not kill him. Once you get Saint Urbane here in the Nexus, if he's alive, I think he kills Saint Urbane, because he left Saint Urbane, basically he failed him. Again, listen to the words of the dude. Listen to him complain and all that shit. But what I'm going to do is just... Oh, he wants to get tough with me, huh? You can see he's bleeding, so homeboy don't know his time's limited. He doesn't even know, man. Oh, look at him. Come on, bro. You trying to cheat on me? I thought we were going full play for, PvP here. Oh, bring it. Bring it, my dude. All right. Again, I wish I could tell you exactly what each notch of the world tendency looks like, but I guess you can kind of see, right? I killed the Phalanx demon, right? So you can see on the archstone of the covetous king, it's not as white as the Digger King. At least that's what I'm seeing. I could be wrong, but it looks like the second one is lighter. Again, if I was the designer, I would have done a little bit better with the different shades of white and dark. The dark, I guess, is a little easier to tell because you can tell when it's full dark because it's really dark. It's like a bloody dark, a reddish dark. Let's see if my character, it doesn't look like I took any effect by killing that punk. I don't remember what his name is. He will be sadly missed. But we don't have to hear him complain and talk about he failed Saint Urbane, blah 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 blah. This dude here, I love him, man. He cracks me up.
Do you seek the power of God?
Just his the voice acting on him, the character and everything. I love him. He always cracks me up, and the way he talks smack about the magicians. Alright, so I got antidote, so I was prepping for the worst archstone imaginable. I probably should get something like heal, though I hardly ever need it. Hidden Soul is a good one, man. If you don't want to put on the Grave Robber's Ring. The problem with Hidden Soul is it's only good for Black Phantoms. It does nothing to enemies in the game world, the PvE. Whereas the ring, the Thief's Ring, I think works against any enemy. I think it even works against Black Phantoms, though I don't think it works as good as the Grave Robber Ring. The Grave Robber's Ring, I think, has a better range, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, Hidden Soul, I wouldn't buy it unless you're trying to get the platinum by buying all the, getting all the spells and all the miracles. If you're not trying to do those things, don't waste your money, because it literally only lasts about 20 or 30 seconds. So it's really limited use. Evacuation is a must buy, man. Especially if you're trying to manipulate the game. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can even exit out of a boss fight with evacuate. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Again, this isn't... Oh.
Still speaking.
Yeah, no, you weren't
Hardly
speaking,
befits an
bro.
honorable warrior such as yourself.
Hey, didn't you just watch me kill that punk who was over there? Don't talk smack, man. I might have to take you out, too. We're going to wait till the end of the game to do that. If we make it there. There I go again, dropping some spoilers. Heal, I guess, yeah, if you want to use heal. But generally, you got those two. You got the ring and you got the shield, and then if you get the,
Are you begging for a magic
I think it's a mace. I think it's a mace. Those three items, I think, had healing. Again, you can Google all this stuff. 'Cause my poor brain isn't going to be able to pull all that stuff out. Cloak, again, it hides you from enemies. So it does have a use, multiple enemies that you can use that on, but those rings will do the same thing. So if you, it's a cheap spell though, very cheap. I mean, look at it. I never use prank. I guess there are uses for it, like the video shows. You throw it at one of them and they all start fighting each other because they hear the noise or whatever. And I never use this one either. It's unfortunate, but when I play a lot of RPG games, I don't use all the enchantments and potions and different items, you know, the elixirs, the oils that you put on your swords. You know, there's just, depending on which game world you're talking about, it gets a little tedious for me to have to use too many things. I like to keep it down to, you know, 3 or 4 items. The most important items. Alright, so what's our time looking like? Oh shit. We're at 52 minutes, man. I've been rambling a lot. I apologize, man. It's what happens, man, when you have a little, you know, you have a beer, you have a little something, something, and a couple whiskeys. Time flies. Now this guy here, you can kill him. He's gonna kill himself. Anyways, I mean, he's constantly boning and groaning and telling you how hard it is, and he's giving up and all this other stuff, trying to make fun of you because you died. Sarcastic comment about you got a demon soul, you know. He just goes on and on. You could kill him. I think when you attack him, he magically gets some weapons. I think, you know, they're in the, well, just like my character here, the main character, when you put everything away, you're like, well, where's it at? Where's his inventory? You don't have a backpack or anything. Nope, it goes into the magic hole that holds everything. The suspension, was it? The suspension of belief, or basically not dwelling too much on things like that when you don't need to. Otherwise, you're going to ruin every game you ever played, man. Because nothing makes total sense when you're playing a game. I guess let's stop rambling and call it quits, man. I do apologize for rambling on. There's a song there. It's by Led Zeppelin. Google it. It's called Ramble On. I think that's the name of it. Let me fix this dude up real quick. Yeah, you can forge weapons. Let's repair the weapons. His brother is the one down in that hole. Oh, there he goes. Haven't you any manners? If I'm not mistaken, and again, don't quote me because I don't know the lore that well, but this is his brother. Down here at the bottom of the conveyor. Oh shit, I didn't know this guy came back. I've killed him I don't know how many times. Oh, please don't go over the edge. Oh man, he went over the edge. So now he died down there, and I don't think it can happen, but let's give it a try, man. Let's see what happens if we come back into the game right away. Is his little sprite there, sparkling stone with his goodies, gonna be there? Nope. That's what I figured. When he died, it went over the edge with him. I should have hit him with a spell or something. Generally, he doesn't run there. He runs this way and tries to get down there. But I gotta tell you, I did not expect him to be there. I don't know what triggered him coming back, because I've killed him several times already. That's another game mechanic that you will want to look up a video on, because those lizards come and go. And I know certain places there's a room in the next part of this level in the tunnel city, and I don't know how many there are, 6 or 8 of them in there, and you can literally spend 30 to 45 minutes running down there, killing them, reloading the game, running down there, killing them, reloading the game, until you collect all the goodies. But then, as you see, that lizard, I wasn't expecting to be there. I've killed him at least twice already, so I did not expect him to be back ever again. But he's back. What caused him to come back? I do not know. I have no clue.
Oh, hello.
I think it's time to sign off. Yep. It's time to call it quits. This dude here, don't kill him either, even though you're going to want to. He's a smart ass like me. You're going to want to kill him, but don't, because these 2 items here, if you're certain weapons you're making, those things, you can collect them in the game world, but it's so easy to come here with several thousand souls and buy up what you need to get your weapon to the next level.
You want to play? You've got to be.
Yeah, buddy. Go take a bath, man. Anyway, the brother, he's right down here. Uh-oh. So many people die here. You got to be careful. It's so easy to slide off sideways off of ledges and stuff. And when your character goes over an edge, it can push you further out than you want to be to land on the ledge below. In certain areas, if you're trying to drop down to a ledge, you gotta go off at the right angle, and you basically, you'll learn. But this is him.
What be your need?
It's his brother.
If it be a blacksmith, then show me your steel. If not,
Alright, we already repaired. We want to upgrade. There we go. I'm losing 1 though, the Moonshade Stone. Alright, let's call it quits.
don't waste my time.
Until next time, adios.